Hey guys, this is Eric with Mindful Trader. This video is about my options picking service. Before we jump into it, I just want to point out this URL on the screen. This is for my disclaimer. And it's important because it talks about the risks involved with trading in the stock market and also with the Mindful Trader service. So if you haven't read it yet, pause the video, punch that into your web browser, and go take a look. Now, the options picking service. So basically here at Mindful Trader, I have this one core trading strategy that I've come up with after all the years of research and back testing that I've done. And it was originally designed to be used for trading stocks. But I love trading options with the same exact strategy. Basically, you can use options as a different vehicle to take advantage of the same exact strategy. And that can potentially pay off quite well. And what I've done here is I've shown why options can be so powerful when it comes to a vehicle for making trades in the stock market. And so I'm going to run through this example here real quickly with you. This is actually on a ticker, KHC, which is Kraft Heinz. They make the ketchup and the macaroni and cheese and stuff like that. I did a trade recently, an options trade on this, and I decided to model out this trade to show you the difference between trading the stock for it and trading the option for it. So I imagined that you had $10,000 that you were going to put into this one trade. And this is completely hypothetical. This is just for the sake of showing an example. I just picked a nice even number. It's a pretty large number for a single trade, I'll say that. But so with my core trading strategy, the way that I would set it up is I would have, this happened to be the price of KHC at the time that I was looking at it. And if I had bought 236 shares of it, which would equate to $10,000 worth of stock, and set a profit target of 43.75. And again, this profit target is based on my trading strategy, which you would learn if you became a subscriber of the service. Then the profit would be $344. So if I bought $10,000 worth of this KHC stock and it reached the profit target that's associated with my trading strategy, then the profit would be $344. Now, if I took the option that I for the approach that I teach at Mindful Trader, for the same exact trade setup, the same ticker, the same everything, I would get the 40 strike option. And again, I teach how to do this in my service, or if you're not interested in learning how to learn the strategy itself, you can just follow my trades. But this is just to demonstrate the power of options here. But you would take the 40 strike option. The price of it would be around $229. Again, this is not exact. This is it's a little more complicated than this. This is simple for the sake of demonstrating the point here. It might be more like $235 or $240, but it's $229 or roughly thereabouts. And $10,000 worth of this options contract would equate to 98 contracts. The profit target, again, I'm setting it up the same exact way as I do with my stock trades. It's the same trading strategy. It's just that I'm using options. And so the equivalent options profit target would be $375. And if that profit target were reached on 98 contracts, the profit would be $14,273. So it gives you an idea of how powerful options can be. They can generate immensely more profit. Now, as I say in so many of my other videos, that means they also carry a lot more risk. So one thing I didn't show on this spreadsheet is what the stop loss would look like. And basically it would be of a similar magnitude to the respective profits of each of these. So in other words, with my trading strategy that I use here at Mindful Trader, if the stop loss were hit with the stock position, it might be the same as this, but negative. And the same down here for the option, you might lose this amount, but negative. So clearly, there is more potential reward, noticeably so, but there's also more potential risk. And I'm not in any way saying that I risk this amount per trade. I'm just using this as an example, an apples to apples example of how far your money can go. And basically your purchasing power can go much further with options. Now, as far as how much risk you like to use or take on with these options trades, that's completely up to you. In general, though, if you have an edge, and again, with this trading strategy that I use, I've done all this research and it shows a back-tested edge, okay? Meaning, if you look back in history, there's evidence that there may have been an edge to taking this trading strategy. So if there is an edge, well, then there could be a benefit to having more, kind of a bigger bang for your buck for each dollar invested to capitalize on it. And that's one of the benefits of options and why I like to trade them. So now you know why I like options. Now I'm going to show you just an example of my options picking service. So this is an example of how it might look when you look at my options trading page. It shows two options here right now. There's two different rows here. I would say on an average week, it varies a lot as far as how many trades come in per week, but on an average week, there might be 6 to 8 trades a week. Some weeks there are 0 trades though. Some weeks there are 10. So it just varies from week to week. I can only trade what the market gives me. I follow this trading strategy religiously. So if a trade doesn't set up, I don't take a trade. So that kind of dictates how many trades I take at a time. Right now, I only have 2 on the screen, mainly just to keep it simple for the purpose of this video. And so you can see here that I basically lay out with each trade all the details that would potentially be pertinent for the trade. So I say exactly which option it is that I traded. So I have here, this is a good example. It ties to what I was showing you earlier for KHC. It shows the underlying stock that it's tied to. It shows the expiration date. It indicates whether it's a call or a put. I only buy call options here at Mindful Trader, so that's something to be aware of. And it shows the strike price that I bought. Now, if any of this terminology is sounding unfamiliar to you, that's totally okay. I have tutorials that explain the basics about options. And since I have kind of a very narrow focus, I only trade the stuff that I know corresponds with this back-tested edge. My tutorials cut through all the superfluous information and just get right to the stuff that actually matters. And so what I hope most people will find who are kind of just starting to learn how to trade options is that it's not that much to take on, because I'm only focusing on the stuff you really need to know to learn this one trading strategy. So just kind of rest assured, there's going to be tutorials in there that explain it, and I'm also always available. With this service, if you join the service, I'm here all the time, ready to answer any questions that you have. So if there's any questions that come up that aren't answered through the tutorials, I'm right here, and I really pride myself on being responsive to customer questions. So this, again, it shows you the exact option I bought, It shows you when I took the trade, the exact price I paid in my own account. All the options trades that I post at Mindful Trader are ones I took in my own account. And this is the beauty. This is the thing most people like about the service, is that I say, I say exactly how I'm going to go about getting out of the trade. So I'm either going to hit the profit target, I'm going to hit the stop loss, or I'm going to hit a time limit on the trade. And so with every single trade I post, I specify these 3 things. And whichever of those 3 gets hit first, that's what causes me to exit the trade. So basically, there's never a mystery as to when I'm going to get out of a trade. I always specify upfront exactly what my parameters are for exiting the trade. So for people who are interested in just following the trades, this makes it very clear what exactly the trade is and how you could go about following it if you choose to follow it. Let's see here. I also have a position size calculator. This is something optional. I use a compound position sizing approach, which means as I pick up profits in my account, I want to take on bigger and bigger position sizes. The backtesting effort that I took on shows that over time, this could have a nice impact on the overall profitability of the trading strategy. Basically, if you're making profits, use those profits to take on more trades. And so that's what this particular position size calculator does. You just enter your account balance here, and it will calculate that for you. If you have a different way you want to position size, you can definitely do it. And this position size calculator is set to my risk preferences. And everybody has unique risk preferences. So you may not want to do it the same way as me, and that's totally okay. So you can cut this in half, cut it more. You could increase it if you have even a bigger appetite for risk than I do. It's totally up to you. So this is just kind of a marker, just kind of a signpost that you can consider with each trade. So I hope that gives you a better idea of how these options picks will look. My whole goal with the service is to make it very easy and to give you all the information you need to not only consider each trade, but then to set it up if you choose that you want to mimic it. And so that's what I hope I've accomplished here. I also want to mention that if you sign up for the service, I have another video that shows how to administer these trades in a trading platform. So I use the Thinkorswim trading platform. You don't have to use that trading platform if you don't want. That's just what I use. But I show how in that platform to go about finding the option itself on the options chain, and then how to go about setting up the orders to administer the order. And so even if you don't use Thinkorswim, the videos that I share there, I hope they would give you enough intuition that you'd be able to figure out how to do it in your own platform. But even if not, you can definitely reach out to me because I might be able to help as you go through the process of learning how to do this in your own trading platform. So there you go. That's the option picking service. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me. My email address is Eric, ERIC, @mindfultrader.com. Thanks for your time, guys.